Hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. This is the first time I've actually done the intro. Dara usually does the intros. But hi, how's it going? I hope you're having a good week. I'm Emily, and this is the movie podcast. This is a swamp. It's an acronym.
And it stands for some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And if you couldn't tell, we do not have my typical co-host here, Dara. She is indisposed, in the middle of recovering from a gigantic jaw surgery. So we've called in the troops, and we have, my personal favorite guest coming in and filling in as my co-host today. Joey, hi, how are you, darling?
I'm ready to serve, Captain. We've been through the trenches with this movie, and I feel that I have a closer bond to you now because of it.
Absolutely. If we watched this together, I think, one of us would have stabbed the other out of, respect almost. Just to, putting us out of our misery.
I was, for a small portion of it, I was watching it with my partner, and he got 40 minutes in and was like, Joe, I think I'm just going to go to bed. I was like, it's impressive that you're still here right now. I do not wish anybody to share in this unfortunate situation. So what a trooper he was. This shit hurt. This shit hurted.
Yeah. And I couldn't think of a more spot on movie for No Nut November, because I was watching this. I was like, I'm in the negatives right now. I couldn't be horny if Hunter Schafer was in front of me. The most beautiful person I could think of.
As soon as you told me the theme was No Nut November, this was the first movie that came to mind for some reason. I liked this movie when I was a kid, but I think only a toddler to 8-year-old could enjoy how stupid this movie is.
Absolutely. I was mad for a lot of it. I was really angry. And I know, Jim Carrey is not always my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. He's never really, I like him in The Grinch and maybe in The Mask. And obviously, actually, now that I'm, thinking about it, I'm okay, he has some really good movies. But, when he does, his really, goofy, stupid stuff, mm-hmm. It irks me, dude.
So how do you feel about Pet Detective and stuff like that?
Never seen it. Why would I? I know I'm not gonna like it.
No, stop. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective 1 and 2. It's a different brand of stupid, because it's the people in this movie, they're fucking stupid. And there's no way getting around that. In Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, he's stupid in a lot of ways, but in his niche of understanding animals, he's an expert. He gets it.
He has a redeemable quality.
Yeah. So in Redeemed, he is, and it's you can't compare it to Dumb and Dumber. You can't.
I don't know. It's the weird goofy ass face acting that he does. Which on one level is impressive, because I can't make my face do anything like that. The muscle control that he has to have, crazy.
Yeah. But it's also, it must be so tiring if he's in a scene with Harry in this movie. He's like, "Hey Harry, how are you today?" It's what? How is you how does his face must be so jacked with all the movements that it does.
Yeah, absolutely. No, he's got those goofy ass smile lines on, because he's the entire
Adam
time.
Sandler. I'm so afraid. Anytime I start laughing a lot, I'm I gotta stop, because I'm gonna get the Adam Sandler laugh lines.
Does he have crazy
Adam Sandler's laugh lines are, they're right here is so it's fucking the Grand Canyon level crevasses right there. Because the fucker is smiling and laughing. But I guess if you're gonna have any facial feature as you age, I guess having those laugh lines is a good sign, a good thing to have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I suppose. By the time we're 45, 50, like they'll have figured out enough of like the cool sculpting and all that shit that we're just gonna look like 25 forever. So I'm not worried.
I want those I want to be 70. I just want like 2 fucking intersecting lines right here. I'm just gonna be like, hey kids. Like, Grandpa, where'd you get that tattoo? I'm like, I've been laughing for 70 years.
I wanted to ask, so I'm assuming you've never actually tried to fuck to this movie. Like, this has never been like the thing that someone puts on.
No, the closest I've come is Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Would
you say that's the worst one that you've had on?
No. The worst one was the Zac Efron Ted Bundy.
Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, no, it was bad. I was like, ooh, I was how do I put this? Quite deep in, and I was, he and I were very connected. And then I look at the screen. I think it's a scene where he like kills a dog or something. And I just hear like,
no.
And then I like have this moment of clarity. And I'm like, there's no way that I am inside of a human being while this movie is on right now.
Just so immediately soft.
And so like, oh God, I hated it because I felt like,
that's
like when you're doing sexual things, it's like there's a certain limiter that you can surpass when it comes to like, I feel like sometimes when I have sex, I feel like not dirty as in nasty, but like a little dirty. And
yeah, of course.
In that moment, it like brought me totally back to reality, and I just felt like kind of disgusting, and I was like, and so then I had to like do this crazy mental exercise to get back in the fucking game. That was pretty rough. Like, when I was watching Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, that person started putting the screen down, and I was like, no, I like this movie. I was like, this is a good part. He's gonna talk to the dolphin right now. Like,
yeah. What do you think you're doing?
So that was kind of rude. You know who you are.
Yeah. No, the Ted Bundy situation sounds a lot like post-nut clarity without the nut, which has got to be so confusing.
Which is just
your brain
clarity. Ugh. That was so. Oh God, that was But I mean, the person I was doing stuff with was super nice, and it wasn't like a creepy situation. I was just like, I really can't like fuck to serial killer movies.
No. Well, some people love it. Like, I feel like some people do get off on that. Like, have you ever been on that side of TikTok where like bitches are like, Ted Bundy was so fine? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, all of you fuckers would have died. All of you. You would have been such great unfortunate victims back then.
Yeah, these are the girlies that are gonna be like, you're gonna see like went on one Tinder date and like disappeared. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh, so bad. No, Ted Bundy would have had a field day like these days too, which is so bad.
Yeah, which, I mean, it would be interesting. I mean, because I feel like nowadays so many people have their location shared with so many people on their phone. But I mean, unfortunately, there are like ways that people could get around tricking people.
Obviously, yeah, definitely. But
oh my God, can you imagine? There's definitely like a hot person on TikTok that's a serial killer, but no, like that hasn't been discovered yet.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like hiding in plain sight nowadays would make so much sense.
Yeah. And that definitely has to be so easy.
Having no digital footprint is more suspicious.
My partner, I love him very much. His digital footprint is like close to 0. And initially, when I was first introduced to him, I was like, no digital footprint.
Yeah.
But I know like I have several people in my life that have like close to no digital footprint. And it's just because they don't give a fuck at all. And so,
dude, their brains must be so healthy.
They got big brain. They got big chunky brain.
The way that I can't roll out of bed at like 7:30 for work if I don't like immediately scroll Instagram to like get my eyes adjusted to being, you know what I mean?
I know. I wake up and I go on time hop and I'm like, I'm like, what was I doing 2 years ago today? And then there's like 5 pictures of homework, and I'm like, oh wow, I remember that assignment. What is that giving you? That's giving you nothing. And then guess what?
Yeah.
If I've been doing time hop for like 5 fucking years, and every year I know exactly when the pictures are gonna come up for my camera roll. And I'm like, what is this? What is this fucking modern wasteland that I live in where I'm just constantly reliving every day of every year?
Yeah. I would love to have no digital footprint, but I think at this point with the podcast, I've ruined any and all hope of that. Like, I'm so lucky no one that, like, no jobs that I've applied to have taken the time to actually listen to any of this. They're just like, so you have a movie podcast, right? I'm like, yeah, that's all. Don't worry about it.
I definitely don't get horny on my movie podcast. I really don't. Take my word for it.
I'm definitely not talking about the worst movies to have sex to. This one was like, this is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And
isn't it crazy how bad this movie is?
The scores for it on like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb are like 65%, 7.3, which is crazy. People love it.
I think a big reason why people love this movie is because I think a lot of other comedic movies around that time, like people, like a lot of minorities were the butts of the jokes in those movies. And this movie, I would say out of all the jokes, maybe it had like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 that were in that vein of comedy, punching the person lower than you. But the rest of it was just focused on making fun of these 2 stupid dudes.
That's true.
Which is interesting because I really think that there wasn't anything like it around that time of, hey, we're just going to make fun of these 2 dumb white dudes. And that's it. And so I think a lot of the popularity might be people that are usually like the butt of the jokes in many movies. They weren't in this movie. And so they could watch it and be like, haha, 2 stupid white dudes. That's great. That doesn't affect me. I was thinking about that a lot watching the movie. I was like, this movie really isn't offending many people. Like let's in our last podcast, Shallow Hal.
That one.
I mean, the whole butt of the joke is fat is bad, and that's the whole thing. And in this movie, in this movie, although these 2 stupid guys are the butt of the joke, it's like the message isn't even that like stupid people are bad. It's just that these 2 stupid dudes are gonna get into some silly situations, and it's gonna get weird, and that's that's it.
Yeah, these stupid dudes, trust me, they're gonna be stupid. That's all you need.
And so I don't think that there's not too much in this movie that somebody could watch and be like, oh God, I can't believe that happened. There's a lot of like I'm cringing out of my fucking skin right now. But
I think that's one of the reasons that I found this movie so offensive. Like, I really hate cringe comedy. Like, it doesn't do it for me. I'm not a person that likes to be uncomfortable. I don't like to feel like that embarrassment for other people. Like, Nathan For You, never seen it. I don't need to.
Oh my God, you would split in half and every one of your cells would like combust if you watched Nathan For You.
My body would do what the bodies of those people in the Titan submarine did. Just, you know what I mean? Just combust so hard. I couldn't do it. I made it through like an hour and 20 minutes of this movie, and then I put the rest to bed and tabled it for right before this so I could get back into the headspace. You're literally so brave for that, because for me, if I did that, it would put me in the headspace of like, I'm just like, so it's kind of impressive that you're able to like speak fluent sentences right now. Yeah, I'm really method podcasting here. So how would you say overall, what was your viewing experience? What was it like? So I don't really have the attention. This is bad because I literally have a movie podcast. I already don't have the attention span for movies these days. because of the brain rot from going on Instagram first thing in the morning. um, so I had this playing in the background while I played digital Scrabble on my phone because I needed something to do with my brain. I needed something to do with my brain while this was going.
I think that, yeah, I think that saved you from a worse fate. I watched it. Sunday night. I started watching it, and after I got an hour in, I got one of the worst migraines I've had in a very long time. And it was definitely directly attributed to the fucking buffoonery of this movie. And so I went to bed, laid down, woke up, still had a headache, which was crazy. And then the next night I finished watching it, and I was only able to not get a headache because I was focusing more on taking my notes than watching the actual movie. And so I think I was able to distract so the notes were my digital Scrabble in the end.
Yeah.
But you know, once we go through notes, there was some.
I mean, yeah, tell me.
Shit they said in this movie. What, you want to get into it?
Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, it's basically just Jim Carrey and oh god, what's his name?
I don't know what his actual name is. He's Harry. Oh, he's fucking Harry.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with names. That's why I cannot come anywhere close to filling Dara's person knowledge. Jeff Daniels.
So it's Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, and they're these two idiot friends and roommates, and Jim Carrey is working as a limousine driver. He drops this woman off at the airport, convinces himself he's in love with her, sees that she left her briefcase at the airport, and then these two decide basically to go on this wild goose chase across the country and bring her briefcase, thinking that she forgot it at the airport. Meanwhile, it was full of money to pay the ransom for her husband back. So that's basically the ins and outs of it. But there's a lot of, buffoonery and just stupid ass jokes throughout. So I'd love to hear what your viewing experience was. And like,
okay. We'll start from the beginning. Harry, while Lloyd is a limousine driver, Lloyd is a pooch pamperer and has spent his life savings on tricking the fuck out of his van to be a giant mutt. Now, out of all things in this movie, I love that van the most.
Yeah.
That is a car that I would, unironically, I'd buy it, I'd drive it everywhere. I'd be very proud of that purchase.
Absolutely.
So that was incredible van. Oh, and a lot of these notes I'm going to have to say out loud and then attempt to decipher because the brain rot was already infecting me. And
exactly.
So this one was Harry is so nice, no dogs go hungry, when he was feeding all of the pampered pooches, the different kinds of meat in the back of his van before the dog competition.
Yeah, Harry is the the less offensive to me out of these two. Like, Harry at least has some qualities that I think are good-ish.
Yeah, I think that he more so. Lloyd is like this fucking chaotic evil, but I wouldn't even. Yeah. It's like I would say it's like it's not even chaotic evil. It's like chaotic mischief, more so than anything. Because I don't think that because he's just like he's self-serving. He's selfish. More than anything. Yeah. But it's not like coming from an evil place, while Harry is more so like I'm trying to like put him on an alignment chart, but these two fuckers like don't fit on one.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's good, but I would say like he definitely has like a little more of a moral compass, I suppose.
Well, because he didn't sell a dead parakeet to a blind child.
Okay, that shit actually made me laugh.
Was that kid? Was he in Osmet Boy?
What?
Oh my gosh, what are their
I have no
names?
idea.
Because the Hannah Montana's friend was Emily Osment.
Oh,
So I think her little brother, let's see, little brother Osment, Os. I think that he might have played
no way.
the
If you could, if you clocked that, that would be crazy.
Haley Joel Osment, Dumb and
That
Dumber. Who plays the blind boy?
Haley Joel.
It's
That's
Haley
definitely
Joel
not.
Osment.
Is it actually?
Yep.
Are you dead serious? What? Oh my god. Is he
That's
actually?
crazy.
Wait, he can't be related to Emily Osment.
Yeah. I thought he's the
I don't know. He did like 6.
Lie?
I think that's definitely a lie.
No.
If they're actually related, I don't even know.
They are. There's pictures of them everywhere.
What? That's fucking crazy.
Okay,
I had no idea.
Believe me.
Oh my god.
No, that's crazy. Listen, we got another star-studded cast, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
But the funniest thing was when the boys were fresh out of money because Lloyd got duped by an old lady that he was very mean to.
Yeah.
And they needed to get some money for their road trip. And mercenaries killed Harry's parakeet, which is another storyline. Which is another whole part of this where, okay, tangent. There are these mercenaries that are there to collect the ransom money that Mary is dropping off at the airport.
Yeah.
They think that the entire time Lloyd and Harry are like these insanely smart people that are always one step ahead of them, but it's just their fucking shenanigans getting in the way of them collecting the ransom money. And so anytime they approach Lloyd and Harry, they do it through the lens of like, we need to be careful. These guys are professionals. Like they're so much smarter than us. They went and tried to send them a message by breaking into their apartment, and their apartment's already a fucking mess. So what can they do to send a message? They kill Harry's parakeet and decapitate it. And so then in order to get money for the road trip, Lloyd duct tapes the parakeet's head on backwards to its body and sells it for, I think, $25 to a blind kid down the hall, which is such a crazy scheme.
That's the only thing that genuinely got a good giggle out of me was seeing him pet the parakeet with a tape on its fucking neck.
Okay, so you're saying that that's like the like one time where you got a genuine giggle out of this movie?
A little bit, yeah. I think so. I didn't track them all because they were. I mean, I should have because they were few and far between. But
I think where I laughed the most was at the very end of the movie when Lloyd is daydreaming about killing Mary's husband and just shooting him with a gun many times. Yeah. That was pretty funny. Because it's like, in that moment, you're like, Lloyd might be a little evil. He might be a criminal. We should watch.
I mean, I would say he is chaotic evil.
Yeah. I'm gonna amend my earlier statement. Lloyd's chaotic evil.
The way that he talks about women in this movie is so horrible, and I mean, obviously, like that's part of the joke and everything like that, because he looks like how he looks.
But it's interesting because it's like he has, throughout the movie, he has a lot of like queer adjacent tendencies. The one that, don't worry, I got proof in the pudding over here.
Oh, what, the toilet scene?
No, not even. That's funny, but we'll get into that. There's one part where Lloyd and Harry are in their goofy colored tuxedos at the charity fundraiser for the Snow Owls in Aspen. And they're at the bar, and he sends Harry over to be a wingman for him and Mary. He wants him to go over to Mary and just like riz him up. Yeah. And Lloyd is standing at the bar, and he's in his tuxedo standing, and he turns around and he flaps up like the tail flap, and he pokes his ass out, and he's just like like trying to fucking give Mary a mating call by just showing her how much donk he's got.
Baby, that's called signaling.
what? I was watching that. I was like, have I ever just stuck my ass out at somebody that I was interested in? I mean, probably, but.
Hey, like, you got at least a 50-50 shot on that. That's like showing up to Pride in assless chaps, you know?
No, that's fair. That's fair. But let's talk about that bathroom scene, because that was also
that was
pretty.
A lot.
That was pretty out of nowhere. So Lloyd and Harry, at one point during the road trip, they go to a diner, and Harry spills some salt, and Lloyd's like, "You're gonna give us bad luck. You gotta throw salt over your right shoulder." And Harry throws the entire ass salt shaker, and it hits a local scoundrel named Seabass.
That's so tough, though.
No, that's like in SpongeBob Bubble Bass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty dope. If I wanted to pick a rough and tumbling name, it would be a fish. But mine would be some shit like
rainbow trout.
Yeah, they're like, watch it's a rainbow trout. You want to say something, Emily? You want to say something? Emily? I was gonna say something cute like cookie cutter shark.
Is that a real shark?
Yeah, look it up.
Was it there? I think there's one called like a goblin shark, and it's like probably one.
Yeah, that one's got like the fucked up like pointy nose.
Yeah. It looks like a kid drew it.
Yeah, that's you. Easily. So they throw the salt shaker, hit Seabass. Seabass gets up, is like, we're gonna freaking tussle, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, real man shit.
And then he spits a loogie on Harry's burger, that's a fucking war crime. That's biological warfare.
Yeah.
And then Lloyd tricks the waitress into giving them food and stuff on Seabass's tab. Later on in the movie, they go to a rest stop, and Lloyd's in the bathroom pissing. And on the wall, do you remember what it said specifically? Was it for like a good man-on-man time? Or like it mentioned men?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like show up here on this date at this time, and he just so happened to be there at the exact time.
Mm-hmm. And so it was something like for a good time, and then it mentioned like men in the men's bathroom.
Yeah.
And so Lloyd's pissing, and he hears stomps coming, and Lloyd's like, fuck, it's the dude that wants to have a good time. And then you hear banging and banging, and then finally none other than Seabass breaks open the door. And so Seabass, queer icon, just wanted to get... Seabass was cruising. He was cruising.
Oh my god. Seabass would definitely be like really pro kink at Pride.
Oh, no, Seabass would be the kind of person that's like, they bring the, I don't know what it's called, but my Pepe had one when he couldn't go to the bathroom, the toilet chairs that you put by the bed.
Oh, yeah, bedpan.
Yeah. He would bring that, and he'd be like laying down, and he'd put it on top of him and be like, Seabass is open for business now. So Seabass goes in into the bathroom. Yeah. And then Harry comes in later because his foot's on fire because he put gas on it. And
classic.
And a match dropped on it.
Yeah.
And he puts his leg out. He puts his fire leg out in the toilet. But when he opens the stall, it like fucks up Seabass, and Seabass is like unconscious in the corner. And he looks at Lloyd, and Lloyd is like sucking his thumb curled up. That was kind of scary. You heard it here, folks. If you're an adult male and you suck your thumb, I got bad news for you, baby. You're gay. But that whole, like this movie has so many weird ass storylines that just like don't. It's like, guess what? Did Seabass ever show up again? No. What the fuck was the point?
Justice for Seabass, though.
Just want to have a good time.
For real, he was trying to enjoy his dinner and get his dick sucked. What's so wrong with that?
And he got none of that. Seabass was so
he got a broken nose. Maybe this movie's homophobic.
Fuck, maybe it is.
Anyways, you look like you just had a revelation.
Well, so when we were gonna watch movie stuff, I mentioned to you how interesting it was to watch a movie that was pre 9/11.
Oh
Do
my
you
god,
understand
yeah.
what I meant by that?
I mean, seeing the flight schedule and all that shit, looking at that, if I had to figure that out from what those screens looked like during that time, I'd have a panic attack.
No, that's scary. And all the text is like so tiny on that wall of names. Like,
Yeah, I wear my
no, that's
contacts
spooky.
for 3 months and they're supposed to be monthly, so
Mhm.
my sight is not that good.
It's kind of like when you're on a biweekly paycheck and it'll be like lobster bisque first week, ice soup
Yeah.
next week. But that's when Emily gets her contacts and it's like great vision the first month. I got garbage in my eyes the next two.
Exactly. And then I'm wondering why I get like my contacts stuck behind my eyeballs. Do you wear contacts?
Has that happened to you?
Yeah, I still have a couple of them floating around back there, I swear to God. I swear.
That is so fucking nasty. You need to check yourself.
Well, I want to like have you ever seen like those posts that like float around that's like this woman had 27 contacts
Yes,
behind
and I
her
watched them
eye.
take it all out, and I'm crawling out of my skin watching that. That's you. Why are you? Oh, that's you.
What am I supposed to do?
Go get them out. Go make them take it out. What are you doing? You're sitting here acting like there aren't contacts behind your eyes.
There's probably 3. I don't have like 27 yet.
That's too many. That's 3 too many. Emily, your body is a temple. Right now, it's like nasty. Go check that out.
It's pretty fun. You wear contacts though?
No.
Oh, okay. So but like, because usually, I mean, a lot of people that do wear contacts can probably relate where they do like kind of float to the back of your eye, but you can usually get them out. There's just a couple of them, like, well.
It sounds like you're trying to normalize this, and I don't want to hear that.
It's not normal. It's not normal.
Okay, good. We just need to get that on the record because you're gonna be tainting your fans in a bad way.
I'm scared to know how they do it. Like, how are they gonna go into my cranium and grab these out?
I think they just got a really thin hook. They start fishing.
Oh, fuck that.
You just want to collect these bags in the back of your eyeballs. Go get them out.
It hasn't impacted me negatively yet.
Oh yeah, until you get to number 20.
Yeah.
You freak. Oh.
They're just.
You're so nasty for that. I love you, but
know,
you're nasty.
It's really fucked up. I'll make a promise to you now. Next time I'm at the fucking, what is it, obstetrician? Is that what they are? The eye doctor?
That sounds a little naughty.
The obstetrician? What would
I call the eye doctor?
No, I just wanted to know what you would think obstetrician stood for if it wasn't eye doctor.
Obstetrician makes me think of obstacles, and so the obstetrician they would make an obstacle course for you to test out. It's like a physical, but like really intense.
I could also be lying, and that's totally not what an eye doctor is called. I hope none of you come to this podcast for facts of any kind.
We could give you some facts.
You guys should know better at this point. Are you
okay. This is the worst. I go, what's an obstetrician? And it goes, a physician or surgeon qualified to practice in obstetrics.
Yeah, thanks.
You know, Emily, that's the childbirth doctor.
What's the eye doctor?
Oh my god, I knew that was so wrong. Oh my god.
What's the eye doctor?
The ophthalmologist.
Okay, you can understand.
Absolutely not. If I understood, would we having this conversation? Is that why you have your contacts behind your eyes? Because every time you go to the obstetrician, you're like, "Can you help me with my eyes?" They're like, "Bitch, I don't know what you're talking about." Like, let me see your pussy. Oh.
You know who would have 20 contacts in their eyes though? Lloyd.
Yeah, but he puts them behind there because he thinks it gives him better vision.
He's saving them up for when one like rips.
Oh, so he's so nasty. Can we talk about how okay, do you think Mary Swanson's hot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Her ski fits and everything, incredible. She had one that was like blue when she was on that date with Harry.
Loved it.
In the beginning when Lloyd picked up Mary and he's talking to her, he tells her to shush and he puts his whole finger on her lips and goes, shh. I bet those fingers smell like hot dogs so hard. Like hot dog water.
Yeah, absolutely. All I can say is that, like, if I ever met someone like him in real life and, like, had an interaction, it would take everything in me to not, like, throw hands.
I don't even know if somebody came up to me and did that. I think I'd probably just look at them for a bit, like, absolutely dumbfounded and be like, is this a thing you think you could do? Like, what is this?
Like, I'd have to break a leg. You know what I mean? But
sorry, go ahead.
No, well, I was just going to say the only thing that felt really cunt to me about this movie, besides some of her outfits, was the scene where Lloyd is, like, having this big daydream about his life with Mary or whatever. Delusional. But there's this scene where they're, like, about to fuck, and Lloyd is driving the car while he's daydreaming, and it pans down to her boobs, and it's just these ginormous, like, truck headlights. I was like, okay, this seems like something Lady Gaga would wear.
Yeah, no, she's definitely worn something like that. I also definitely put that in my spank bank when I was younger, like...
No actual boobs, just... So you haven't fucked this movie, but you've definitely thought about it.
I can remove Mary Swanson from everything else. That's totally
okay.
Yeah. I have this note that says "Cop drink piss justice."
I see what you're saying,
and I don't like. So at one point, Harry and Lloyd they drank a bunch of. Did they just drink a lot of beer and then go drive, or did he just have the beer? Whatever. Lloyd has to piss when they're in the mutt van, and Lloyd starts pissing in the beer bottles. He fills up like 6 of them, and a cop pulls them over because they're going way too fast, and it looks like they're drinking and driving. And the cop demands he gets to taste what's in one of the beer bottles, and he drinks it.
Of course.
Instead of spitting it out and being like, ew, this is piss, he does this motion with his face that I hate so fucking much every time I watch this movie. He takes a sip, and then he goes...
Yeah.
Is that the face you make when you're drinking piss? Piss, baby? Stop. I hate
Be
that.
serious.
Girl, be serious. You're drinking piss. Don't make clicky clack noises with your mouth. He was definitely from Boston.
It wouldn't shock me. No, a Boston cop would never pull over a white guy. Dude, they're so bad.
That's fair.
Boston's horrible.
That's fair.
I mean, end of the movie, like, I just liked how they had, what is it? There's this one girl who's almost like a motif and she keeps popping up and everything like that, and they pull out that she's an undercover cop.
Oh, the FBI girly
yeah,
poo.
the FBI girl. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I loved her. I wonder what her...
She was my favorite part of this movie.
Do you think that when she was talking to Harry and Lloyd at the previous 2 time points, do you think she was actually going through a breakup and was, like, constantly talking about her man because that happened? Or do you think that she was just playing this character to get close to Harry and Lloyd to figure out what they were doing?
I would say probably just playing this character, but I would like to think that she doesn't, like, leave her personal life at the door. Like, she brings it to work. Everyone knows about her ex.
That would be pretty sick if she's, like, on an investigation and the culprits are right in front of her, and she's like, I thought he was going to kill me. I just had to go. I just had to tell myself, girl, you got to get out. This is toxic. It's like, You're on the job.
Loved her. Well, I was very confused at the gas station scene is happening where Seabass like very unexpectedly pops up and she's there filling up her tank of gas. And I was sitting there, I was like, are these two a couple? I don't understand. But
the outfit that Lloyd was wearing when he was in the bar in Aspen with the FBI girl, he was wearing like a cowboy hat and like these gloves. I loved that outfit. And he had the coat that had like, what is that? Is that fringe? What is that?
Yeah.
On the sleeves. That outfit looked great. That was like one of the only times that Lloyd was serving during this movie.
There was a couple outfits that I was like, okay, this is kind of cunt. Like, for 1994, like, it's gonna look fucking stupid. But these days, like, you're sitting there, you're like, this is what a fashion student in New York would be wearing to school. Like, this is a look now.
No, definitely. And, like, I mean, some of them are incredible. Like, that whack-ass, like, all salmon ski suit that Harry was wearing when he was skiing. He was wearing like a shark helmet or something on top of there.
Loved it.
Crazy.
8. But speaking of 8, do we want to get into our regularly scheduled programming?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. Fuck, Marry, Kill is going to be horrific for this.
I was thinking about it for a while, and I think I'm just going to make my decision on the spot.
Okay. So I guess the main 3 are Harry, Lloyd, and what's her, Mary? Is that her name? All right. Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Oh, God. Oof. Okay. I think after all of our discussion about Lloyd being chaotic evil, he needs to die. That evil needs to be laid to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The world is a far better place without contact lens head. So he's dead. And I mean, okay, so I would obviously love to fuck and marry Mary.
Yeah.
But that's not part of the game.
No.
So I think, could I live with Harry? Could I do that? Oof. What do you think he'd be nice to live with?
No, did you see their apartment?
He does have worms all in his apartment. But he's got them in order.
That was Lloyd's, I think. Wait, no, that
was like
Harry.
It was like a joint effort because they wanted to open the worm shop together.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, I am going to fuck Harry to get it out of the way. It's going to be one and done. Mary, I mean, look at all she went through in order to get her husband back. She teamed up with some sketchy fuckers and gave people ransom money for her husband back, which was a lot of fucking money, by the way.
Yeah, not cheap.
So it's kill Lloyd, fuck Harry, just to one and done, pump and dump.
Yeah.
And then I will marry Mary because she's the only sane fucking person in this trio.
Yeah, you gotta let Harry have his like day in the sun. So,
but what if he's like a good goofy fuck?
You've always been one for the goofy fuck.
I'm a fan of a goofy fuck, so I don't know if he could bring that to the table in a way that doesn't make me want to die. It could be fun.
I feel like he might be able to. Like, there were those scenes where he was with Mary on the slopes that like he was trying like almost coming off, at least to her, like kind of like endearing.
Yeah, when he threw that snowball as hard as he could at her face. And then he tackled her and started beating her up and then laughs at her. And she's like, wow, this is so fun. Girl, raise the bar. Raise the fucking bar.
Absolutely. But I'm going to have to agree with you wholeheartedly on those decisions.
Yeah. If you do anything with... Listen, I know you, so I know that you wouldn't pick Lloyd. But if you did, I would just hang up right now. I would expect that. No, Lloyd is... That's like the Antichrist to me. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He could so easily be in one of those rated R Antichrist movies. Totally.
But say, for God knows what reason, hypothetically, you're putting on this movie, you're having your friends over, you're making food and drinks, and watching this, what are you putting on? Or not what are you putting on? What are you putting out? What are you eating? What are you drinking? I'm assuming it's going to be a very heavy cocktail.
It's not even going to be a cocktail. It's going to be the most pure fucking moonshine that I can get my hands on.
Love that.
I'm gonna say to all my friends, hey, you gotta take a shot anytime Lloyd does something stupid. And then about like 5 minutes into the movie, everybody will be blackout. And then they're gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, listen, I had a fun night. I don't even know what we did. And I'll be like, good.
Yeah.
Because it would have been far worse if you were conscious for this movie.
That just tells me you're a very good friend. You look out for people.
Yeah, I'm looking out for everybody by getting them blackout drunk.
I mean,
it's the
honestly,
lesser of two evils. So
exactly. I mean, as long as you provide them with was it a liquid IV, you're fine.
Oh no, I'm packing. One thing you got to know about me is I'm packing liquid IV constantly. I will, if anybody, because when I have fun, I don't like to hear no fucking whining, and so I'm always packed with all the necessities. So if I hear any whining, liquid IV, hydrate.
Yeah.
No fucking whining on my watch.
No. Are you guys eating anything while you get blackout?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So there are two levels to my distraction while we're watching the movie. One, I'm pumping straight Appalachia moonshine into your veins. Number two, I have the biggest fucking bloomin' onion you've ever seen in your life.
Oh my god.
And it's good. And it's not some like soggy shit you get from Outback Steakhouse. It is like a fair ground, freshly fried bloomin' onion. And it's and I got like 5 of them lined up on the table in the middle. And everybody's just and the
especially black drunk.
Yeah. So that combination will like make it so that only 1% of their brain is even perceiving the movie. While it's like 70% is blackout drunk, 29% is feasting upon the bloomin' onion paradise.
Yep.
And I think that combo is enough to save them from this hell.
That makes it bearable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I went for something similar, like very fried. Fried foods feels right for this.
Yeah.
I think, and I wanted something that was going to be comforting to me, since I was going to have to be so uncomfortable watching this. And I'm a big garlic parm fry kind of girl. Yeah, right?
I would love to fuck while eating garlic parm fries. I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be ideal. Exactly.
Have you ever had sex while feeding stuff to each other?
No, I haven't. I mean, is I don't like mess like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's fair. And especially, I mean, you can fuck in many places, but a decent amount of the fucking occurs in bed. So,
yeah.
Taking food into the bed. I'm not sure if you're a bed food person. If you are, sure, that's what you are.
Yeah.
That's not.
I'd have to get one of those fuck sheets. You know what I mean?
What is a fuck sheet?
Well, they make sheets now where like you put it down and it's
like a disposable sheet.
No, they're like, I don't know if they're water resistant or water absorbed, and well, not water, but like liquid or like, fluid absorbent.
I hate that though. If I were to get my gunky, ew.
Well, and then you wash. It's like easily washed. They're like very easily like machine washable.
Okay, that's fine. I was gonna say if it's like insanely hydrophobic, and if I like splooged on the sheet, and then the bead of splooge is just like rolling around, that would be very scary. I would hate that.
That's terrifying, actually.
No. Oh, okay. But, I was like, how the fuck did we get there? Okay, I know. Okay.
I don't know.
Yes.
But I would say
parm fries, yes.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna make painkillers for everyone because they taste good and they're so full of booze.
What's in a painkiller?
I have to. It's a lot of rum, I think, but it's one of those tiki cocktails.
I think you would like this drink that my relatives in Canada make when we go visit. It's called a Pussy Destroyer. It's got the same vibe.
I love the name. Mm-hmm. Do you know what's in it?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay, yeah, keep me posted.
It's also some rum cocktail thing.
It's actually not.
I think rum just gets the fucking pussies throbbing.
I think you're right. It's actually not as much rum as I thought. It's just 2 ounces of rum, pineapple juice, orange juice, and then like coconut cream.
Love that.
That's actually, yeah, not terrible. But yeah, and then out of 10, what do you rate this movie?
Okay, I gotta factor in the fact that it gave me a fucking
migraine.
And it really I wouldn't say disappointed me because I went into this movie assuming that it was going to be shit. I haven't watched it, I think, since I was a kid.
Yeah. I have to assume that people love it still because there's a nostalgia factor.
Yeah, and you know, usually in movies that are kind of bad, the nostalgia factor can mean something still.
Yeah.
And I think this movie like takes the nostalgia factor, puts it in a wood chipper, puts it in a food processor, then it like feeds it to the dog digests it.
Yep.
And then the poop turns into a bomb and then it blows up.
Yeah.
I think I would give this movie genuinely like, I think it gets like a 2 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy this movie at all. I thought I might laugh a little more. I did not. I found myself very unhappy watching this movie.
No, this was truly so painful. And I mean, like, we were talking last week about Pulp Fiction and how it's like, oh, you like, quote, can't fuck to it or whatever. Because it's like toxic men put that on. And like, yeah. But I think that this is genuinely one of the only movies that I would say, like, you cannot fuck to.
Yeah. Yeah.
This and, like, Schindler's List.
But even, like, the thing with Schindler's List is that... Okay, bear with me. This isn't...
In defense of fucking to Schindler's List.
I'm writing, like, my doctoral thesis on why you could fuck to Schindler's List. Oh, my God. I'm just saying, in comparison to Dumb and Dumber, Schindler's List, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, there's a lot of, like, quiet parts. So where if you weren't looking at the screen, you could just be like, oh, I'm fucking to static. But with Dumb and Dumber, there's always some stupid fucking noise going on. You have Lloyd and Harry singing the Mockingbird song in the mud van. Mockingbird. The worst song ever. And I think... For me, watching... Do you know how recently Joe Biden said that what's happening in the Middle East is like 15 9/11s?
I didn't hear that, but
he said that sounds recently. Yeah. Sure,
that sounds exactly like what he would say.
Yeah. It's kind of a crazy thing to say. This is... For me, this is like 15 of watching the Ted Bundy movie while I'm making love to someone. I felt like in that one moment of the Ted Bundy movie, I felt that every single moment of this movie.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, if someone were to kidnap and torture me for information, you know how that tactic of like playing a song over and over? Like, they would just have to put a screen in a room with me and play this movie, and I would break in, like, an hour. I wouldn't even get through one rotation of this movie.
I think if I heard Lloyd's stupid laugh, like, twice, I'd be like, my family's right here, the supplies are here, the rebels are here. Please, save me.
Or, like, at that point, I'd be like, just kill me. Like, I know you're not going to set me free. Like,
well, I mean, like, even if you're going to set me free, I watch this movie too many times. I don't want to fucking live anymore.
I wonder what Jim Carrey thinks about this movie years down the line.
It definitely has to be one where he's like, that was a blemish on my fucking career, and I wish I never did it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Like it's really amazing to me that he can do like Eternal Sunshine or whatever, and then like turn around and do this. Which it wasn't that. It was this first, and then
I wonder how much he got paid for this shit, because he had to have gotten paid a bit to be like imagine you're like in the casting room, and you're like reading off the lines, and you're like, holy fuck, I don't know, can I act? I mean, listen, kudos to him for being able to act that dumb. Because, I mean, that's impressive. I don't think a lot of people could do that. But what kind of, like, fucked up do you have to be to read the entirety of this character and be like, yeah, I want to spend a few months being him?
Yeah. Well, this was, like, his bread and butter at this point. He wasn't doing, like, serious acting yet, I think. And I don't know how, like, far into his career this was either. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe this helped him launch his career.
Maybe. Probably.
That'd be sad.
Somehow.
Oh my god.
I don't know. It wouldn't shock me though.
Oh, one part of the movie that I have to comment on before we end. When Lloyd puts all the laxative into Harry's coffee or whiskey or brandy, whatever.
Yeah.
And then Harry's on the toilet taking a shit. I was appalled that he didn't take all of his clothes off to take that poop. If you have a stomach ache that bad and your shit is coming out of you like a volcano, you are legally required to take off all of your clothes. That is the only way you're going to survive.
See, I think that's just a guy thing. I don't think I've ever talked to anyone with a vagina, like any woman that will take off all their clothes.
You're telling me you don't feel constricted. You don't feel like the clothes are squeezing you so much that you can't unclench your asshole.
Nope. I've taken off my pants, but I've never taken off my shirt.
Maybe you should try it. Maybe you should try it sometime.
I mean, it might feel freeing.
I think
the only time
I think you will never go back to the way you shit before if you take off your everything when you go poop.
Well, the only time like I feel like women will really get naked like that in a bathroom is if they're wearing like a one piece, like like a romper or like a fucking bodysuit or some shit like that, and that's really humbling because you're in one of those stalls, like you're at a concert, you're fully naked in a public bathroom where there's a line out the door for girls trying to get in there, and you have to clip up your... Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So listen, to you and all of the listeners out there, if you don't regularly poop naked, my homework to you is take one poop naked and comment how you felt after you did that. Okay.
Maybe this can be the thing that they reach out to you about this time.
Yeah, so this time, so what was it last? I don't even know what it was last time. This time,
I have no idea.
If you take a poop naked, reach out to me. I'm tagged somewhere. Reach out to me and tell me how your naked poop experience was. Don't tell me if it was bad. I'll block you. I don't want to hear it. I know it's good.
No sweat. I know in my heart of hearts.
Listen, confirmation bias, I don't care. Whatever. Yeah. I know it's good. I know it's good.
This is my truth. It feels like the perfect place to wrap up this podcast.
I feel bad that we brought more attention to this movie. I feel like it should just go unnoticed for the rest of time.
Yeah, well, it's like one of those things that, now how movies and films that don't get uploaded onto the internet basically cease to exist.
Yeah.
I think we should wipe this one and do that with this.
I'm totally fine with that. We can just delete this video after like a week.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
I'm down for that.
But Anyways, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for being my co-host for the evening. It's always a pleasure having you here. Anything to promote? What do you want to say?
I want to promote pooping naked, motherfucker. Get in there. Take your pants off. Take your shirt off. I want to know that your skin is bare while you're bearing your ass to the gods. No, everybody be nice to each other. There's a lot of hatred in this world. Go poop naked. Feel good.
Yeah. There we go.
Thanks for having me on. I always love being on here. I'll be on here whenever you want me to because I love you and I love the swamp. I wear my swamp shorts, my swamp podcast shorts often, and they always get noticed.
That makes me so fucking happy.
Especially, I'm not sure if this was the audience you were specifically pandering to, but middle-aged white women, when they see my shorts, they begin laughing a lot.
Really?
They're like, he's got swamp ass. and then I had one friend who I went to a gym party with her where there were like a lot of middle-aged white women, and they they don't know my name. They just know me as swamp ass. Which is great, which I love.
Brilliant. I'm so glad we could do that for you.
The swamp ass pants stay on during sex.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, we have merch. You can always find it down below or on our website, on our Instagram. We have swamp ass shorts. Go check them out. Joey's about one of, I think, 2 people that own them. Dara and I don't even have any.
Fuck yeah. Come join the exclusive club. Order the Swamp Podcast little booty shorts. Take a picture with them. Tag the Swamp Podcast. And then tell me how freeing it is to poop and piss naked.
And with that, we love you and goodbye and good night.